Good day, everyone. I am Kenneth Alvarez from BSED English 2P. In this week, we are tasked to convert the Module 7 to a video presentation. And in this video, I will discuss the 5 given examples of poetry, which are the Mother Goose nursery rhyme, The Owl and the Pussycat by E. Lear, Jabberwocky by L. Carroll, Little Red Riding Hood by R. Dahl, Life Doesn't Frighten Me by M. Angelou, and the 4 given examples of picture book, which are The Very Hungry Caterpillar by E. Carl, The Cat in the Hat by Dr. Seuss, The Giving Tree by Shel Silverstein, and Where the Wild Things Are by M. Sendak, that focuses on the summary, persona, settings, character, theme, and lessons. The first is the Mother Goose nursery rhymes, are a cornerstone of early childhood literature, offering timeless tales in poetic form. These rhymes cover a diverse range of themes, from playful antics to moral lessons, captivating young readers with their whimsical characters and engaging narratives through repetition and rhythm. They aid in language development and early literacy skills. The enduring popularity of Mother Goose rhymes attests to their ability to spark imagination and foster love for storytelling in the children worldwide. Persona in this poetry, Mother Goose herself is often depicted as a nurturing grandmotherly figure who shares timeless wisdom through her rhymes. She represents tradition, warmth, and the oral storytelling tradition passed down through generations. The settings, the mother setting of Mother Goose nursery rhymes vary widely from pastoral landscapes to bustling cities, and even fantastical realms inhabited by anthropomorphic animals and mythical creatures. The themes in Mother Goose nursery rhymes encompasses a broad spectrum including friendship, adventure, morality, imagination, and humor. Some, rise, some rhymes explore the wonders of the natural world, while others teach valuable life lessons or offer simple joys through playful storytelling. Mother Goose nursery rhyme often conveyed through memorable characters and catchy verses. These lessons may include the consequences of actions, for example, the Humpty Dumpty, perseverance, for example, the Jack and Jill, or the value of kindness and empathy, for example, in The Mary Had a Little Lamb. Through these rhymes, children learn about the world around them and virtues that shape good character. The next one is The Owl and the Pussycat by Edward Lear. Tells the whimsical tale of an owl and a cat who embark on a romantic adventure, set against a backdrop of moonlit seas and exotic lands. The poem captures the imagination with its vivid imagery and playful language. Through their unconventional love story, The Owl and the Pussycat teach readers about the power of love to overcome differences and obstacles. Lear's use of nonsense words and fantastical elements adds to the charm of the poem, inviting readers to a world of fantasy and delight. Persona in The Owl and the Pussycat includes the titular characters, the wise and dignified owl, and the graceful and affectionate pussycat. Edward Lear represents them as anthropomorphic creatures like human-like qualities, imbuing them to a personalities that charms readers with their whimsical romance. The settings of The Owl and the Pussycat takes readers on a fantastical journey across the sea to a tropical island, where the moon shines brightly overhead. The central theme of The Owl and the Pussycat revolves around love, adventure, and pursuit of happiness. Through the unlike pairing of an owl and a cat who set sail together in search of a place to marry, Lear explores themes of companionship, mutual respect, and the power of love to unite even the most unlikely of the companions. One of the key lessons of The Owl and the Pussycat is the importance of embracing love and following one's heart, even in the face of adversity or societal norms. Lear's whimsical tale reminds readers to cherish the bonds of friendship and to find joy in life's adventures, no matter how unconventional they may seem. The third one is Jabberwocky by Lewis Carroll. It's a nonsensical poem that follows the journey of a young hero as he battles the fearsome Jabberwock. Set in a fantastical world filled with whimsical creatures and peculiar landscapes, the poem captures the imagination with its playful language and intensive wordplay. Through its vivid imagery and rhythmic verses, Jabberwocky transports readers into a realm where logic is turned on its head and editing is possible. Carroll's use of invented words and surreal imagery adds to the poem's charm, inviting readers to embrace the absurdity of the narrative. Ultimately, Jabberwocky celebrates the power of bravery and imagination, inspiring readers to face their own Jabberwocks with courage and resolve. Sona in Jabberwocky is the narrator who tells the tale of the young hero's encounter with the fearsome Jabberwock. This persona is whimsical and imaginative, guiding readers through a surreal landscape filled with strange creatures and fantastical adventures. The settings of Jabberwocky poem is a fantastical world filled with bizarre creatures, dark forests, and mystical landscapes. Lewis Carroll creates a vivid backdrop for the narrative, drawing readers into a realm where anything is possible and logic is suspended in favor of imaginative whimsy. The central theme of Jabberwocky revolves around bravery and the triumph of good over evil. Through the young hero's quest to slay the Jabberwock, Carroll explore themes of courage, determination, and the power of the human spirit to overcome adversity. One of the key lessons of Jabberwocky is the importance of facing one's fears with courage and resolve. Carroll's whimsical tale reminds readers that bravery is not the absence of fear, but rather the willingness to confront danger and adversity head on. Additionally, the poem celebrates the joy of imagination and creativity, encouraging readers to embrace their own inner worlds of fantasy and wonder. Fourth one is Little Red Riding Hood by Roald Dahl. Offers a dark and twisted retelling of the classic fairy tale. Set in a grim and eerie forest, Dahl's version features a cunning and resourceful Little Red Riding Hood who outsmarts the big bad wolf. Through Dahl's sharp wit and clever narrative twists, readers are reminded of the danger lurking in the world and importance of vigilance. The story explores themes of deception, trust, and the consequences of naivety, offering a cautionary tale for children and adults alike. Roald Dahl's persona in Little Red Riding Hood is characterized by his trademark wit and dark humor. He brings a fresh and twisted perspective to a classic tale, creating vibrant and complex characters who navigate a world filled with danger and deceit. The settings of Dahl's Little Red Riding Hood is a dark and forbidding forest where danger lurks behind every tree. This sinister backdrop heightens the tension of narrative and sets up stage for the protagonist's thrilling adventure. The central theme of Dahl's Little Red Riding Hood revolves around the concept of deception and the dangers of trusting appearance. Through the cunning of manipulation of the wolf and the unexpected resourcefulness of a Little Red Riding Hood, Dahl explores themes of wit, resilience, and the power of cleverness to overcome adversity. One of the lessons of Dahl's story of Little Red Riding Hood is the importance of skepticism and the critical thinking. The story, in, the story encourages readers to question and motivates of others and to be wary of deceitfulness appearance. And the last one for poetry is Life Doesn't Frighten Me by Maya Angelou. It's a powerful and empowering poem that celebrates resilience and courage in the face of adversity. Set against a backdrop of fear and uncertainty, Angelou's poem defiantly declares that life's challenges will not intimidate or defeat the speaker. Through vivid imagery and rhythmic language, Angelou evokes a sense of strength and determination, inspiring readers to confront their own fears with confidence. The poem explores themes of empowerment, bravery, and self assurance, encouraging readers to embrace life's uncertainties with resilience and resolve. In Life Doesn't Frighten Me, Maya Angelou's persona exudes confidence and resilience in the face of fear. The speaker's voice is assertive and unyielding, offering a defiant stance against the intimidations of life. Angelou presents the persona as someone who refuses to be cowed by adversity, embodying strength and courage. Settings of Life Doesn't Frighten Me is abstract, representing the emotional and psychological landscapes where fear and challenges manifest. Angelou's imagery conjures up scenes of darkness, shadows, and monsters, symbolizing the various threats and uncertainties that one encounters in life. The central theme of Life Doesn't Frighten Me revolves around courage, resilience, and empowerment. Angelou's poem celebrates the inner strength that enables individuals to confront and overcome their fears. Through the defiant declaration that life doesn't frighten me, the poem encourages readers to face their challenges with confidence and determination. One of the key lessons of Life Doesn't Frighten Me is the importance of self assurance and bravery in navigating life's obstacles. Angelou's poem inspires readers to cultivate inner resilience and to confront their fears head on. By embracing courage and confidence, individuals can assert control over their circumstances and emerge stronger in the face of adversity. Now let's move on to the picture book. The first given example of the picture book is The Very Hungry Caterpillar by Eric Carle. Very Hungry Caterpillar by Eric Carle is a beloved picture book that follows the journey of a ravenous caterpillar as it eats its way through various foods before transforming into a beautiful butterfly. Through vibrant illustrations and simple text, Carl engaged young readers in a delightful exploration of colors, numbers, and the life cycle of a butterfly. The book's interactive format encouraged participation and learning, making it a favorite among children and alike. Educators alike. Carl's use of collage-style artwork creates a visually stunning experience, captivating readers with its bold colors and textured compositions. In The Very Hungry Caterpillar, Eric Carles represents the persona of a caterpillar itself, which is depicted as curious, energetic, and vocarious. Through the caterpillar's journey, Carl conveys a sense of wonder and excitement, inviting readers to experience the world through the eyes of its enduring character. The settings in The Very Hungry Caterpillar includes various natural environments such as gardens, trees, and fields where the caterpillar explores and feasts on the different foods. Carl's illustration depict these settings with vibrant colors and intricate details, creating a visually stimulating backdrop of the story. The central theme of the Very Hungry Caterpillar revolves around growth, transformation, and the cycle of life. Carl explores these themes through the caterpillar's journey from egg to butterfly, highlighting the importance of patience, perseverance, and self-discovery. One of the key lessons of the picture book, The Very Hungry Caterpillar, is the importance of moderation and balance. Through the caterpillar's indolence and the subsequent stomach ache, teaches readers about the consequences of excessive consumption and the value of listening to one's body. The second one is The Cat in the Hat by Dr. Seuss. It's a classic children's picture book that follows the mischievous adventures of a tall, anthropomorphic cat who brings chaos to the home of two bored children. Through whimsical rhymes and colorful illustrations, Dr. Seuss captivates young readers with the cat's antics and the children's attempt to restore order to restore order. The book's playful language and the imaginative storytelling make it a timeless favorite among children and adults alike. Dr. Seuss' use of repetition and rhymes and rhythm encourages early literary skills and engagement with the text, making it ideal choice for beginning readers. Ultimately, The Cat in the Hat celebrates creativity, spontaneity, and of the imaginative play. In The Cat in the Hat by Dr. Seuss represents the persona of a mischievous and whimsical cat in the hat. The cat is portrayed as a larger than life character who brings excitement and chaos wherever he goes, yet ultimately has a good heart. Through the cat's playful nature and zany antics, Dr. Seuss engages readers in a lively and entertaining adventure. The primary settings of The Cat in the Hat is the home of two children, Sally and her brother. Dr. Seuss creates a familiar domestic environment, complete with furniture, toys, and household items, which serve as a backdrop for the cat's unexpected visit and ensuring chaos. The central theme of The Cat in the Hat revolves around the excitement of spontaneity of imaginative play. Dr. Seuss celebrates the joy of creativity and the power of imagination to transform ordinary situations into extraordinary adventures. One of the life lessons of The Cat in the Hat is the importance of balance between fun and responsibility. While the cat's arrival brings excitement and adventure, it also teaches the children the importance of making responsible choices and cleaning up after themselves. Through the characters' experiences, Dr. Seuss emphasizes the value of creativity and imagination while also highlighting the importance of accountability and respect for rules. Third example is The Giving Tree by Shel Silverstein. It's a poignant picture book that tells the story of a lifelong relationships between a boy and a selfless tree. Through simple language and emotive illustrations, Silverstein explores themes of love, sacrifices, and the passage of time. The tree gives everything it has to the boy, from its apples and branches to its trunks and symbolizing the unconditional nature of love and generosity. As the boy grows older, the tree continues to provide for him, ultimately sacrificing itself to fulfill the boy's needs. Through its powerful message of selflessness and unconditional love, The Giving Tree encourages readers to appreciate the gifts of nature and the importance of cherishing the relationship that enrich our lives. In The Giving Tree, Silverstein personifies both the tree and the boy. The tree is depicted as nurturing, selfless, and endlessly giving, while the boy starts as a carefree child and grows into a man burdened by the demands of life. Through their interactions, Silverstein explores the involving dynamic of their relationship and the sacrifices made out of love. The primary settings of the Giving Tree evolves over time, beginning in a lush forest where the tree and boy first meet and continuing through various stages of the boy's life. The settings include the tree's leafy branches, the boy's playful adventures, and the stark emptiness of the tree stump in old age. The central theme of the Giving Tree revolves around selflessness, love, and the cycle of life. Silverstein explores the idea of unconditional, unconditional giving and the sacrifices one is willing to make for the well-being of others. Through the tree's unwavering generosity and the boy's gradual realization of its value, the book emphasizes the importance of gratitude, empathy, and appreciation for the gifts of nature. The moral lessons of the Giving Tree is the power of selfless love and enduring nature of the true friendship. Of the true friendship. The book encourages readers to reflect on the value of relationships and the ways in which acts of kindness can enrich both the giver and the recipient. Additionally, it prompts readers to consider the impact of their actions on the natural world and to cultivate a sense of stewardship and respect for the environment. The last given example of picture book is Where the Wild Things Are by Maurice Sendak. It's a beloved picture book that follows the imaginative adventures of a young boy named Max. Through evocative illustrations and sparse text, Sendak transports readers into Max's vibrant fantasy world inhabited by wild creatures. The book captures the universal experience of childhood, imagination, and rebellion. As Max sets sail to a land of monsters after being sent to bed without supper, through Max's journey, Sendak explores themes of imagination, freedom, and complexities of growing up. In Where the Wild Things Are, Maurice Sendak presents the persona of Max, a young boy full of imagination and mischief. Max is portrayed as spirited and adventurous with a wild stake that leads him on a fantastical journey to the land of wild things. Through Max's experiences, Sendak explores the emotion and desires of childhood from anger and rebellion to the longing for adventure and freedom. The primary settings of Where the Wild Things Are includes both the familiar confines of Max's bedroom and the imaginative realm of wild things. Sendak's illustrations depict Max's bedroom as a cozy and intimate space, while the Wild Things Islands is a wild and untamed landscape filled with towering forests and mysterious creatures. These settings serve as a metaphors for inner and outer worlds of childhood imagination. The central theme of Where the Wild Things Are revolves around the power of imagination and the need for self-expression. Sendak explores the transformative nature of fantasy and storytelling as Max navigates his inner turmoil and confronts his emotions. Through Max's interactions with the wild things, The book delves into themes of loneliness, acceptance, and the search for belonging. One of the key lessons of Where the Wild Things Are is the importance of embracing one's emotions and accepting oneself for who you are. Mac's journey teaches readers that it is okay to feel angry, scared, or lonely, and that expressing this emotion is a natural part of growing up. Additionally, the book encourages readers to embrace their imaginations and to find solace and joy in the power of storytelling and creative expression. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you learned something.